Hi, Chad Howard here with the Howard Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. What I want to share with you today I think is some really valuable information to help you if you're either looking to sell a property in the future or even buying a property. I think it's really important through the decision-making process that you really try to think through what's going to happen in the future, how is that going to work into our equation, our plan, things like that. So let's kind of go by starting looking at our past, where we're at presently, and then projections for the future of this market. I'm going to go off of Pierce County numbers because I primarily service the Pierce County and Mason County. So we're going to start with just Pierce County here. In 2007 is when our market peaked, and that was at $285,000 was the median sale price at the time. So that was the summer of 2007. Since then, we had the whole mortgage meltdown, and obviously we've been experiencing this recession. And if you go 4 years, exactly 4 years from our peak to the summer of 2007 to the summer of 2011, that'll put us at a median sale price of $191,000. So we've seen a 33% drop in home values since the peak as of summer of 2011. Now if we fast forward even more to currently, we're at the end of 2011 here, just within that short period of time, we've fallen another 4%, down to 181,000. So this is where we're at today. 181,000, total fall of about 37%. Where do we go forward from here? That's, of course, the million-dollar question. No one really knows for sure where we're going to be going from here because what we're dealing with is this huge volume of shadow inventory looming in the background. And what I mean by shadow inventory is the homes that have been foreclosed on or in the process of being foreclosed on that haven't actually hit the market yet as distressed property. Obviously, as more distressed property comes on the market, it's natural supply and demand. It's going to put downward pressure on home values. But just making educated guesses here, a lot of analysts are projecting that we have another 5% or so to fall within the next 6 months to a year. So that'll put us into 2012. Let's go with 5% for the sake of this conversation. So if we talk another 5% fall, that puts us at a median sale price of $172,000 in Pierce County. So from there, National Association of Realtors has projected that we're going to see, once we finally hit bottom, we'll see a 3 to 4 year flat market. National Association of Home Builders is projecting 4 to 5 years of a flat market once we hit bottom. So let's go with the median of that. Assume a 4-year flat market, no equity gains, no depreciation. So that takes us out to 2013, 14, 15, 16. So here we are at 2016. Median sale price is going to be $172,000. Now what we know, if we look back at history to try to predict our future, ever since World War II, real estate has appreciated on average at 5% per year. So let's go with that figure, assuming 5%. So far we've fallen, to this point it would make us, let's see, 42%. So a total fall of 42%, assuming what we talked about here. So to make that up at 5% per year, let's see, we're going to have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, somewhere between 40 and 45. So that's going to put us at 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 2025, before we hit that $285,000 median sale price that we were at the peak. So what does all this mean? Well, I think there's a lot that you can gather from this information to help try to help you with your decision-making process. For those of us that bought here at the peak, myself included, I think it's important that you go into this knowing that this is going to be long term, that we can't hold out for a year or two and expect everything to be dandy and we'll be back to where we bought. It's going to take quite some time. So I guess what I'm saying is, need to decide, do I make the tough decision to sell now, bite the bullet even if I am taking an extreme loss, or can I afford to hold on to this for the extreme long term, talking 2025 or beyond? Shall I rent the property? If it's already a rental, is it paying for itself, or is it bleeding me to death on costs? So things like that are important to take into consideration. I'd certainly be happy to sit down with you and talk about your specific situation so we can come up with a good game plan and base it off of numbers that are specific to you. Maybe if you're not in Pierce County or you want a more focused summary of this. As a buyer, I could easily see a buyer look at this and say, okay, so here's this 5-year window of no appreciation or depreciation. What's the rush? I don't have to really worry about making a decision until here, because that's when the appreciation is going to start. That would be foolish thinking. And let me tell you why. We haven't really talked about interest rate. So right here, this is us today. This is where we're looking. We're guessing a 5% fall, maybe more, maybe less. Nobody knows. But this is our window of opportunity right here. Home values, if home values fall 5%, then they fall 5%. Interest rates right now are at 4%. If interest rates only raise by 1%, that's going to negate 10% in home value. So if your interest rate goes from 4% up to 5%, you basically paid $10,000. The cost is equivalent to paying $10,000, or I'm sorry, 10% more for your home. So it's really the cost analysis that you need to think about here. So there's a lot of fine details about this that it would be helpful to sit down and talk one-on-one, but as a whole, I wanted to kind of give you this to think about. Hopefully, share it with people that might be trying to decide, do we buy now, do we sell now, do we hold on as a rental? There's a lot of things to consider there, and hopefully that'll help you with your decision. If you need any more assistance, feel free to give me a call. My number is 253-377-3039. Thanks so much.